Stoicism encourages us to see imperfection not as a flaw, but as a natural part of being human. By accepting our inherent imperfections, we liberate ourselves from impossible expectations that fuel overthinking. This doesn't mean we shouldn't strive to improve. Rather, it recognizes improvement as an ongoing process filled with lessons from our mistakes. Imagine approaching a new project with the understanding that mistakes are not only expected but valuable. This mindset allows us to innovate and take risks without the burden of perfection. As Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Obstacles and setbacks are integral parts of the journey that drive growth. So, let's shift our focus from perfection to progress. Celebrate all victories, knowing that every step forward is meaningful. By letting go of perfection, we open ourselves to new possibilities where growth becomes a joy rather than a burden. Your emotions aren't reality. It's easy to be overwhelmed by our feelings, but it's crucial to remember that emotions don't always reflect the truth. Stoicism teaches us that while emotions are natural, they shouldn't dictate our decisions or perceptions. Marcus Aurelius advised us to step back and question whether our impressions are based on fact or if our emotions are distorting reality. He said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Emotions are fleeting and can mislead us into overestimating the significance of a situation. This Stoic lesson isn't about suppressing feelings, but about not letting them control us. It's about achieving a level of detachment where we can acknowledge our emotions without letting them cloud our judgment. For example, if you didn't get a job you wanted, the initial emotional response might be discouraging. But by applying reason, you might see it as an opportunity to explore new avenues or improve your skills. By not letting emotions dictate your reality, you open up more constructive paths. The next time you feel emotionally charged, take a moment to ask yourself, is my reaction based on reality or just my interpretation? This simple practice can prevent negative overthinking and help you approach situations with clarity. Detach from outcomes. Much of our distress stems from clinging too tightly to outcomes we can't control. Stoicism teaches us to differentiate between what we can control and what we can't. Epictetus said, "Some things are in our control and others not." This wisdom is key to Stoic calm and resilience. If you focus solely on outcomes, every minor setback can feel disastrous. But if you shift your focus to the effort itself, you find freedom and satisfaction in the quality and intention behind your actions. This isn't about ignoring results, but about not being defined by them. For instance, in starting a new fitness routine, if you focus only on losing a certain amount of weight, you're setting yourself up for frustration. Instead, focus on building healthier habits. This mindset fosters resilience, as setbacks become learning opportunities rather than failures. By detaching from outcomes, you become more present and engaged, which ironically can lead to better results. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Just do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter." This approach frees you from overthinking and reduces unnecessary stress. The present moment is all you have. It's easy to get lost in regrets about the past or worries about the future, but Stoicism reminds us that the only time we have control over is the present. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present. The past is untouchable and the future is uncertain, but the present is where life happens." Dwelling on the past or future distracts and drains us, pulling us away from the here and now. Embracing the present means focusing on what's happening right now. This doesn't mean ignoring past lessons or future plans, but balancing awareness without letting one aspect overwhelm the other. For example, if you're spending time with a friend but mentally preparing for a work presentation, you miss out on the richness of both experiences. Practicing presence can be as simple as mindful breathing. When your mind drifts to the past or future, take a deep breath and refocus on the present. This practice not only reduces stress, but also fosters gratitude. By being fully present, you appreciate the small joys in life and live with a sense of peace. Remember, Every moment spent worrying about the past or future is a moment lost. The present is your reality, the stage where you can act. As Marcus Aurelius urged, live with purpose and vigor in the present. By embracing the now, you reduce overthinking and enrich your life. Every night, as the world quiets down, the noise in our minds can get deafening. We've all been there, lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, trapped in a cycle of thoughts about our mistakes today and worries about tomorrow. It's exhausting, but you're not alone. Overthinking is like an itch you can't scratch, stealing your peace day and night. What if I told you there's a way to silence those thoughts? Today, we're diving into Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that's as practical now as it was thousands of years ago. These aren't just historical ideas. They're real tools to help you live a calmer, more focused life. If you're tired of your mind running wild, stick with me. We'll explore how these age-old strategies can bring clarity and peace to our chaotic world. If you appreciate the insights here, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss any part of this video. Every moment is packed with value to help you quiet your mind. Lesson 1. Action over analysis. We all know those moments when your mind races with endless what-ifs and maybes. And before you know it, hours have passed and nothing's changed. Stoicism offers a powerful remedy for this, prioritizing action over endless thought. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, said, "The secret of all victory lies in the organization of the non-obvious." He wasn't just about thinking, he was about doing things that make an impact. When you finally take a small step forward, it's like a weight lifts off your shoulders. Action liberates, breaking the chains of procrastination and doubt. Here's a personal story. I once had an idea for a project. I spent weeks thinking about it, planning every detail, but it went nowhere because I was stuck in analysis paralysis. The moment I took action, even small steps like jotting down notes or discussing it with a friend, things started to shift. The Stoics teach that while we control our actions, we can't always control the outcome. By focusing on what we can do now, we reduce the overwhelm of trying to control every possible future scenario, which, let's be honest, is impossible. Each action brings new insights and sometimes new challenges, but always movement. Action builds confidence, proving that you can move beyond your fears. In Stoicism, living according to nature means learning and growing from what we do, not just what we think. So, what small action can you take today? It doesn't have to be a giant leap. Tiny steps are still steps. As Seneca said, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. By embracing the Stoic value of action over analysis, we empower ourselves to live more fully, bravely, and with direction. Lesson 2. You're not that special. This idea comes straight from Stoicism, particularly from Marcus Aurelius, who reminded himself in his meditations to keep his ego in check. He wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This is a reminder to focus on what truly matters without getting caught up in self-importance. Why is realizing you're not that special a good thing? It's about understanding that the world doesn't revolve around our actions as much as we think. Most people are too busy with their own lives to be overly concerned with what we're doing. Grasping this frees you from overthinking how you're perceived. Have you ever hesitated to post something online or pursue a project because of fear of criticism? Here's a Stoic wake-up call. Most people won't even remember it a few days later. This realization allows you to live more authentically, without the heavy weight of perceived constant scrutiny. Stoicism teaches us humility and the importance of self-improvement for its own sake, not for applause or fear of criticism. The next time you overthink how others might perceive your actions, remember this lesson. You're not that special, and that's liberating. Use that freedom to focus on what truly matters to you. Engage with your real passions and let trivial worries go. Lesson 3. Comparison is the thief of joy. Constantly comparing ourselves to others, whether their successes, looks, or social media posts, sets us up for unhappiness. It's like measuring our life against a yardstick that keeps changing. The Stoics emphasize focusing on what's within our control, and other people's lives are definitely not within our control. Epictetus famously said, Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. Imagine having a great day, feeling proud of your accomplishments. Then you hop on social media and see someone else's highlight reel. Vacations, perfect homes, achievements. Suddenly, your own victories seem insignificant. That's the trap of comparison. The Stoics teach us to anchor our self-worth in our own values and progress, not in comparison to others. This isn't just about feeling better. It's a fundamental shift in how we view success and happiness. When you stop comparing, you start appreciating your unique journey. This mindset allows you to celebrate your successes without the shadow of someone else's achievements dimming your light. The next time you fall into the comparison trap, step back. Remind yourself that your value isn't defined by how you stack up against others, but by how you live according to your principles and efforts. This is a game changer in conquering overthinking and finding happiness in your own journey. Lesson 4. Perfection is a myth. The pursuit of perfection can ironically lead to dissatisfaction and paralysis. When we set unattainable standards, every mistake feels catastrophic, causing constant stress and overthinking. The Stoics understood this, teaching that striving for perfection is unrealistic and unnecessary. Seneca put it best: we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Our pursuit of imagined perfection causes more distress than the actual imperfections of life. How often have you agonized over getting something just right, only to realize the effort caused more anxiety than the result warranted? The Stoics remind us that perfection is a myth, and embracing imperfection is key to finding peace. By letting go of the unrealistic pursuit of flawlessness, we can live more freely and focus on what truly matters. Embrace imperfection. Stoicism encourages us to see imperfection not as a flaw, but as a natural part of being human. By accepting our inherent imperfections, we liberate ourselves from impossible expectations that fuel overthinking. This doesn't mean we shouldn't strive to improve. Rather, it recognizes improvement as an ongoing process filled with lessons from our mistakes. Imagine approaching a new project with the understanding that mistakes are not only expected but valuable. This mindset allows us to innovate and take risks without the burden of perfection. As Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Obstacles and setbacks are integral parts of the journey that drive growth. So, let's shift our focus from perfection to progress. Celebrate all victories, knowing that every step forward is meaningful. By letting go of perfection, we open ourselves to new possibilities where growth becomes a joy rather than a burden.